Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of Fake Nerds Watch Star Trek Discovery. This is episode 5. I wrote this down. The Examples. I'm Brandon T. McClure. With me, as always, on this trek through Star Trek is Downright Annoyed's Michael Karls.
Hey, thanks for having me, Brandon. Always happy to be here and talking Trek.
Always happy to have you talking Trek with me. I've been really enjoying doing this one. Fair warning, this is coming out after we've seen Spider-Man No Way Home, so we will try not to, but if we have some accidental spoilers in here, I apologize. Right now, the Fake Nerd podcast is on hiatus, so this is coming out after that as well, so just kind of giving you guys some program notes.
Hiatus. Well-deserved.
It's been a freaking rough 6 months,
266 episodes, man.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we take this break every year, and it's so needed.
I bet.
But what do we think about the examples?
I went first last week. How about if you go first this week?
Oh, but you're the guest. You always got to go
That's true. I mean, it was probably a lower third episode for me. It was it did have a couple of things. One thing that I really did enjoy about this is that it kind of brought back a classic like Star Trek ethical dilemma, I guess, in Burnham trying to save everybody, right? From that prison colony, the one person who doesn't want to be saved because he feels he has a debt to pay and can't forgive himself, kind of thing. And so she's left to decide: do I just leave this person to his fate that may or may not happen, or most likely will happen, or do I take him, or what is her dilemma? And then also the other part of that is these people are being held for petty crimes for extensive periods of time for almost, I think, life, I believe, to be made as an example on this weird asteroid. I don't want to call it a planet, but just
it's like an emerald chain colony.
Colony, we haven't really seen or heard anything about the emerald chain since last season. So it's kind of the first time we've actually seen that. But I know I'm kind of getting into the nitty gritty right now. I'm sure we'll talk about it, but I guess overall, what I'm trying to say is it wasn't the worst of the season, but far from the best.
I'm probably sitting about the same place. So as I've mentioned before, for me, Star Trek Discovery often sits as just kind of a fine place. And this is definitely one of those episodes where it's like, it was fine. There's interesting stuff here.
Fine, but yeah,
there's some good stuff here. Like, for instance, Culber, so far for me, standout of the season. I really liked his, he's not trained as a counselor, but then so he doesn't realize that counselors need counselors. So he's struggling and having this idea and trying to compartmentalize his own feelings, his own fears about it. And they brought back his death, which I was surprised they would. I thought they were just going to pretend that never happened. But they have this whole thing where he feels like he needs to be a counselor because he needs to find his purpose, because if he can't find his purpose, then why was he brought back to life when others aren't? And I thought that was actually a really interesting dynamic. And I thought that the actor who plays Culber delivered that very well with David Cronenberg. I thought that was a good scene. That's, for me, the peak of the episode. And then it kind of goes down from there when it comes to the stuff with the DMA, which I thought was relatively interesting, but not really going anywhere.
Everything about the DMA is boring.
Is it? See, I find everything about the prison
colony boring. I mean, so the only reason why I think that's probably the highest part, it's not that it's great, but it's probably the most Star Trek.
Sure, but it's not very good Star Trek.
It's not very good Star Trek. It's the most Star Trek, and in a type of series where I don't really feel like I'm in Star Trek at all. Anyways, I'm just reaching for any little feather that floats by my face. I'm trying to grasp it.
Sure. I totally get that, but the reason why I really like didn't really like the DMA plotline is because we see
Some
again
new
Tig Notaro,
who?
the engineer, the chief engineer of the Discovery.
Oh, yeah.
She's wonderful. I love that actress.
Mhm.
And I really like that character. And they
Well,
never use that character
I
enough.
know, right? She's a strong character and a strong actress too. She was
Yeah.
in was she in that zombie movie with
Army of the
Bautista?
Dead.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
And she was fine in that.
She was reshoots. They
Was she
replaced.
really?
Yeah, did you not hear that? There's a
No.
character. She plays a character. The movie was filmed. The movie was ready to go, and then there was a sexual assault allegation that came out from the actor from that actor.
Oh, got it.
They cut that actor out completely and filmed Tig Notaro in front of green screens to put her into the movie,
No way.
and it looks flawless, honestly.
It does. I wouldn't have even noticed. I mean, granted, there was a lot of CGI, so it could have just blended in, but whatever.
Yeah, I thought
But
that's
there's
like
a lot of interaction with other characters though that
it's really impressive.
yeah.
Like the eye line is always
Good for
matches.
them.
Yeah.
Yeah, good for
I
them.
was really surprised at how well they integrated that character because like the height difference between the two actors is drastic.
Oh, is it really? Oh.
Yeah.
Huh.
Because Tig Notaro is very
Maybe
short.
that's why she's wearing heels throughout the entire movie.
Maybe.
I'm kidding. I don't know.
Anyway, but like she rarely shows up on the show, and I'm always railing against how the characters all serve the same roles, how none of them serve different roles, and then you got people like Colbert, and then you got I don't remember the chief engineer's name.
The chief engineer?
Tig Notaro. I forgot her name. What's that character name? Whatever.
You see how much we really love this show.
Right.
Let's see.
Well, if they used this character more, I would have remembered this name. Are you looking it up?
Yeah.
Chief engineer.
Chief engineer.
Also, I can't tell if that's engineering or a science lab. Is it supposed to be both?
I think it's no, that's well, I don't think we've actually ever seen the engineering department.
I thought that's where the warp core is in the first season.
But didn't they? Oh no, it has to be because that's where the spore drive is, and that's their that's their means of propulsion. So
yeah,
yes,
but it also doubles as like a science lab. I guess.
You're right. It does double. Yeah.
Anyway, we don't see this
Jet Reno.
Jet Reno.
Reno.
I wish we saw more of a more classic Star Trek senior staff. Like, I miss when Next Generation or DS9 or Voyager would just everyone into the ready room, everyone into the conference room, and they have all the heads of the departments. Our main characters.
I don't think they have a ready room or a conference room.
Well, no, they have a ready room.
Oh, do they? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that would be nice. Yeah, we haven't seen that at all in this entire series.
And I would love to see, because then that's where we would get to know more of these characters. And I was thinking about this a lot, just kind of rolling through this. Sorry, my cat.
It's okay.
Right here. Hey, buddy.
I feel like Q is about to show up right behind you.
Right? I know, it's such a bright light. If the afterlife is, if you're a god, Q, then I don't want to die. Whatever his quote is. So like, we don't see the heads of the departments often because every single person, all of our main characters are all scientists, and they all serve the same role.
Yeah.
Fundamentally on the ship. So like, you got people like Reno, like Lieutenant Commander Reno or Commander Reno. I didn't see the Pips, and Colbert, who are serving these different roles, and it's creating a much more interesting dynamic on the ship. But it's so not the focus, and especially characters like Reno, who hasn't been in the season at all, and we're already 5 episodes in.
Yeah.
And we had a chief. Someone reminded me we had a chief security officer. The Enterprise security officer came on board the Discovery when we jumped to the 31st century. No, but like my point is, we had one. We had a defined character. And then we lost that character because of plot reasons. And I'm really tired of that. how we keep losing all these interesting characters to, quite
I know
frankly,
you're I
really
know you're
boring characters.
I know you're super upset Tilly's gone, but dude, it just kind of get
That was
over it,
the
man.
first time. That was the first time they got rid of one of the boring characters. But you know what I'm saying? Like, if we
Yeah.
actually had time to build up how each character is different, rather than giving what's his face a line about how Starfleet saves his home from a hurricane.
That was the dumbest part of the entire
Who is that guy?
episode. I mean, we know who that guy is. He's, the dude. He's there.
He's one of the people who stands
He's
at
one
one
of
of
the
the
guys.
consoles on the bridge.
Yeah.
Yes, I know. But what is his role? What is his purpose?
Well, apparently that today it was to help save other people because Starfleet saved him when he was a kid.
Can I say, by the way, I hate their away team uniforms.
Yeah, what is that?
I
What is
hate
that,
those.
right?
That like
It
black
kind of
leather.
looks-
I hate them.
It was like black leather, but it has like a silvery like plate almost to it.
Mhm.
That like their things start popping up or whatever.
It's got
Little
like a
computers,
light,
holograms. Yeah.
like this LED, and I hate them. Just wear your own uniforms.
Well, I guess maybe these have the same kind of capabilities, I would assume, as maybe like what
They
what's
also
her
have different
face?
comm badges, which is weird.
Well, it's in the future now. So
No,
I think
I
I think these are the same.
their comm badges on their normal
Oh,
uniform are different than the ones on their away
So,
team uniform.
I think the ones on the away team are similar to before they made that jump into the future. You know how Burnham was like in space and she had that suit that was kind of like an Iron Man suit that started popping up. I bet you that's just a futuristic version of that.
I hate it.
Yeah.
Wear your own damn uniforms.
Right. I mean, not everybody can have nanotech like No Way Home, I guess.
I hate nanotech.
I
I really
mind
like No Way Home. I just don't like
mind it at all.
nanotech.
I don't mind.
Nanotech has become such a crutch for sci-fi.
I know. We had this
sci-fi writing.
conversation like 4 weeks ago.
And we're gonna have it again, damn it. No, I'm kidding. No, I just Star Trek Discovery is so close often to being a great show and even a good Star Trek show, and they just refuse they almost kind of refuse to get there. It's almost like they're allergic to it.
I don't think they're that close. I don't think they're that
I
close.
think I
Because
can see it.
you see glimpses in different aspects of storytelling, like plot, character, dialogue, background music, things like that. We get glimpses of each one, but until we get something that is able to go across the entire board, there's no way that this is going to be a consistently good show ever if they continue the path that they're on. So in my eyes, I don't think that they're that close either. Just because we get those little glimpses of things, it's like showing a kid like all the broccoli that they got to eat right before they get their dessert. But they just keep on trying to push away the broccoli. They don't want to eat. They don't want to eat it. They got to eat it.
Yeah, I think
they
you're right.
They got to finish their dinner before they get the. I would get my satisfaction, or get the satisfaction of me as a fan saying yes, good job. That's their dessert, right?
Yeah, I mean, that's probably true. I don't know. Anyway, this episode.
By the way, I know like in the past. Ever since we've been doing this, I've probably been the most anti-Discovery, I think. And I'm a very nitpicky kind of person.
Yeah.
Not always like that. We did just behind the scenes. We talked about Spider-Man. I won't spoil it. No Way Home was incredible. One of the best things I've ever watched this year. That in addition to Midnight Mass, two of the best pieces of media this entire year. So I'm not always a bad dude. I'm not always looking for bad stuff.
All right. I believe you. I believe you. So let's talk about something that you liked about this episode.
Just hold on.
Long pause. Wait.
Give me a minute.
Wait. What is it? I don't know.
No, yeah. So I did. I mean, like I said before, I did like that there was again a little glimpse of Star Trekkiness in the sense that Burnham had to make that decision of whether or not to bring the prisoner who wants to stay or take him against his will to save him, and then also just a couple of moments later, when the former head of that entire station comes in and wonders why they or wants them all in the brig, and she goes, "Everybody here is under asylum, and you are now a refugee. You should act like it now.
Yeah.
Don't bite the hand that feeds you," kind of deal. And I felt like that was the most captain I've really actually like heard her be.
Hmm.
um just from like I mean, just she's like she was a true outside captain, came in like any Federation captain would, just to help. Yeah, she had a little conundrum, but hey, at the end of the day, they're the Federation. They help people, and you know what? You're not in any position right now to make any demands toward for me. We just saved all of you,
Yeah.
and so go do what you got to do. Leave my bridge. I got
Yeah.
a ship to command. I thought that was the most captain I've really seen or felt from her in recent recollection. I can't recall another time, even if it was just for a quick glimpse. I'll take it I'll take my wins where I can get it. Um,
Yeah, I
that's what
agree.
I liked.
I agree. I think it was a solid idea for a moral dilemma that Burnham had to deal with. Of like, in her mind, there was no question. Like, we're going down there, we're saving those prisoners. That we're not leaving
Yeah,
anybody on this asteroid to die.
yeah, that's very
And
Starfleet, right?
yeah, it's very Starfleet of her, and I appreciated that. Where it kind of lost me was um, just how it was written once they got into the prison. Of like everything with like, oh, it read my biosignature and locked us down. Oh, we know exactly how you
I
can
mean,
turn off the thing. And
yeah, that's just just hey, insert here, insert there.
yeah, and that's kind of where like I
And
think
that's Discovery. That's not Star Trek. That's Discovery.
I think that's where Discovery falters a
Slash
lot. Is that
slash Picard.
they've had they have these ideas that are very Star Trek ideas, and they have these moral dilemmas that they know they should write well, but they just don't write them well. And I don't want to say it's not necessarily the skill as the writers, but I just think it's the tone that Discovery has been forced into. This kind of like watered down Star Trek, this kind of more action packed. Like we're trying to do the Kelvin movies while also doing the Prime Universe, moral plays and things like that. And like
You
and
see, but
that's
then when I say like, yeah, when I say that, you guys we got to move forward. We got to move forward.
oh, I understand. You know what? I will. I don't think I can't say that. Look, Lower Decks
Got to
exists.
move forward. Then I always fall back to Lower Decks, and then we're happy again. We're
Right, because here's the thing. Yes, you do have to move forward, I will never. I don't think I've ever said that to you, but like, yes, we have to move forward. I agree that every franchise that doesn't decide to move forward, um, dies, and when you don't move forward and innovate, you die. And so, like, Star Trek should move forward and innovate and try to reach out to a wider audience. I get that, or else they'll die on the vine. But you know what? There are ways to do it. There are ways to do it without losing your identity. And that's always where I fall back on. If you do it so much that you lose your identity, if you become unrecognizable as the thing that you were once before, then you're no longer that thing. You've gone too far.
and you know what?
Things
Sorry, go
things
ahead.
like Lower Decks. Lower Decks has not lost. Lower Decks feels like Star Trek. It feels like modern Star Trek, but it feels like Star Trek.
Mhm.
The Orville feels like Star Trek. It feels like modern Star Trek. It innovated in the same way, it moved forward in the same way, but it feels like Star Trek. And I think that's those examples prove that you can innovate and move forward without losing your identity. And I think Discovery oftentimes loses its identity by trying to move forward.
I think this is a product of because we do see glimpses in all these different aspects, like I just talked about. I think we're seeing a conflict of the people behind the scenes and in which direction they want to go, which makes everything all sloppy.
Yeah.
You know,
The guy who's running the ship is not good.
yeah, we know.
The captain of the Star Trek ship is not a good captain.
We know.
We need a mutiny.
Yeah. I was actually just curious as to when Star Trek Lower Deck season 3 will release, and it just says sometime in 2022. So
You're already Jones, and you're like, I need my Lower Decks
I
fix,
need it.
man.
You mentioned it. I need it now.
We'll get Orville before then.
I need to catch up on Orville. Actually, I have
You
not.
should. Have
Yeah.
you not
No,
finished
I
season?
love. I think I can't remember what happened, but something just happened, and I just didn't get a chance to go back. Nothing against it. I thought it was
Yeah.
great, so I just need to finish it.
Did you go to season 2 yet? Have you only
Yes.
seen
Yeah.
season?
Yeah. I'm in season 2.
Okay, yeah, I think season 2 is one of the best seasons of show ever.
Oh, cool. Nice. Yeah. I think
I
I'm only I might be halfway through, but I'll probably rewatch the whole thing. To be honest with
Yeah,
you.
the new
Just to-
season actually it's technically a new show. They're calling it the Orville New Horizons. They
Mm.
just released the first image from it. I'm so stoked. It's gonna
It's
be
no
on
longer
March.
on Fox, right? It's on.
Yeah,
Where
due
is it on?
to Hulu.
It's on Hulu now. Got it.
Yeah, Fox didn't want to cancel it. So when they sold to Disney, Seth MacFarlane was like, "I can't get this season. I can't get season 3 up in time to meet your deadline." So they were just like, "Let's just move it to Hulu and make it a Hulu show."
Yeah.
Gave him more freedom, and so I was really happy they did that instead of just canceling it.
Yeah.
All right, so yeah, there's the thing, then there's the DMA. So the DMA can move at a whim. It can just disappear and reappear wherever it wants.
That just kind of that just gives. I feel like it's just such lazy writing. I mean that way the showrunners can just dictate when they need a little tension and when they don't. It's like, oh my god, it just popped up.
Well, I think that
Insert tension here.
it does create it does. You're right. It does create that problem, but it also I think creates another interesting wrinkle in the mystery of like someone created this thing. This wasn't naturally made. There's a
Well,
device
they've
at the
been
center of
hinting
it.
about that since the beginning.
True, but I guess now we got the confirmation that like this was something that was developed, and we get some like the Metrons and the caretakers.
So I mean, like, yeah. So yeah, they mention all kinds of different
who they believe are the
Metrons,
most
the Nacenes,
powerful.
the Iconians, the Q. They mention all these people that could possibly be responsible. Although that new scientist guy, he completely dismisses the Metrons, Nacenes, and Iconians. And they
And
say, what did he
to
say?
be fair, I
Vance
agree
said
with him.
that Q. Yeah, me too. That Q said there hasn't been Vance said that there hasn't been any contact with Q in 600 years, and the events of Picard takes place 700 years prior, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So contact with Q after Picard sometime.
Yeah, possibly. Who knows? Who knows? The Q's able to be instantaneous in all places of time in the universe, whatever.
Yeah, but it doesn't really matter because what I think the point that Vance is trying to get across about who could have created the DMA is that the ability to create something like that only belonged to beings who transcended reality.
So you're thinking of someone like the prophets, or
he could have mentioned the prophets and probably been right as well.
Yeah.
I don't think it's quite that simple.
You know what this made me think of though? It reminded me of the TNG episode, the Dyson Sphere.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Right?
And I was thinking about that
because I was thinking like, what's the biggest like artificial thing that is known in Star Trek? And it's got to be the Dyson Sphere.
Probably.
Right?
I would imagine so.
Yeah.
Scotty crash landed on that shit.
Yeah, he did.
Thing.
Yeah.
What an episode.
That was so cool.
Relics, right? That's the episode
Relics.
title.
That's it. Yep.
So, the DMA can move at a whim, and we get a bunch of references. We see a map with a bunch of planets and species, Navarre, Denobula, things like that, Andoria, and a Ryzen scientist comes on board. So the guy who's trying to figure out how to make the next generation spore drives
You
comes
can tell
on board
because he has a Stargate tattoo on his forehead.
Yeah, right. And I noticed that too. I was like, Stargate? Cool. Yeah. Love me some Stargate.
Yeah, why not? Hey, they're grasping at straws, man. I'll let them.
To be fair, like, I don't remember what a Ryzen looked like.
I think that they were just all dressed in like robes and
yeah,
all very sensually speaking. I don't know, whatever. Did you notice that helming the Discovery, it wasn't Detmer or I can't remember her name.
Woshikin?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought that was kind of nice. Like, hey, you get a shift change. It's not always them, I guess. I don't know. I didn't mind it.
I didn't mind it either.
At first, I had a quick glimpse. I thought that the one on the left looked a little bit like Morn, but then after closer looking, it wasn't Morn. But
I thought it might have been one of the, like, the 3-armed guys from the animated series.
mm, mm.
But I don't remember. I don't remember. We didn't get a good look at it. I question that though only because like in the Next Generation and any of the original shows, like it made sense that there would be different people at the helm because, um, you're filming a show every day, so you need extras to fill in roles that like the lead characters can't always fill. But with a streaming show and a streaming show where you claim to want to be building up different characters, like different bridge crew, maybe you keep the bridge crew
They're
consistent so
not
we get
doing
some
that.
characters.
They may say that. They're just lying to us, dude.
Then they
Straight up
shouldn't
lie.
be doing. Oh God, this show frustrates me.
You're thinking logically. You're thinking like a Vulcan. You can't. You got to think. You got to think more emotionally, like a Klingon, man.
I think like a human. Thank you. If I think like a Klingon, they'll end up killing people.
might actually
Today is a good day to die.
Yeah.
I was thinking about First Contact the other day.
Yeah.
The beginning of First Contact where Adam Scott makes a cameo.
Okay.
Do you remember? Did you ever watch Parks and Rec?
I did here and there. Well, not enough to know.
Damn.
Think,
Okay.
yeah.
Well, he's anyway. One of the guy who plays Ben in Parks and Rec is in Star Trek First Contact as the helmsman of the Discovery. Not the Discovery. Shit. The Defiant. When Worf is there. And I always loved that. I always thought that was a really great DS9 cameo, and like the only logical way they ever brought Worf back onto the Next Generation crew, is when he's just like when he's about to like ram the Defiant into the Borg cube. It's such a good scene.
It's a good day to die.
Such a good scene. I love that movie.
Yeah,
just watch that movie.
Tough little ship, little.
Yeah.
So Ryza, so the dude, he's like the super smart scientist guy. He helps build a miniature DMS, whatever.
A DMA, yeah.
DMV, yeah, or A, yeah. And it feels like the DMV. We just keep waiting and waiting and waiting. But yeah, so he built a miniature one to get more data as to how it's constructed, and deduces that it has to be something made by some artificial. It can't be natural, essentially, right?
Right.
And
there's a device at the center of it that's creating this giant.
Yeah, the pea in the mashed potato metaphor.
Yeah, and I okay. So, question for you, sir. The Discovery should have a holodeck, right? Could they not do this on the holodeck?
In their own room, yeah.
Could we just not do this on the holodeck? Did we have to create?
I don't know. There were several experiences that like Geordi did with Data, like outside the holodeck.
This is the 32nd century. Surely you don't need to open up a black hole in your ship next to your warp core.
Hey, you never know, man. You never know. I mean, I'm not a scientist. Okay.
Since you got whatever. I'm willing to buy it. I just keep remembering there was a scene in season 1 where they have
so easy, man. I mean, then there'd be no need for a show.
There's a holographic ship. There's an episode of season 1 where Lorca uses the holodeck on Discovery, and that like destroyed people's brains because like the holodeck technology didn't exist in the 23rd century.
Oh yeah.
And so like
that actually also reminded me of in Enterprise when they started learning about transporters, right?
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to transport. No.
Yeah. But like the holodeck technology in the 23rd century. So like Discovery's got holodeck technology. Let's don't blow up your ship.
If you want to go down that route, and I mean, might as well just have all ships just operate as drones, right? And just have people piloting from Starfleet Command.
I gotta tell you, they have never, and they will never address why that is not the case. Because that is a very good point. And I will totally
and then if they want to make contact with a character, just project the person, whatever.
I will totally concede to that point because there is no reason why we should have manned ships. None. But I will concede.
I would say though, I mean, in your argument, I think the human nature would be the reason. The human curiosity would be the main reason as to why you would have manned ships, so that the human can actually experience it as opposed to doing it via video game. You know what I mean?
Sure. I get
So, I
that.
mean, the human experience, the human curiosity, I mean, why are we going to Mars? I mean, we have a planet right here. Like, yeah, curiosity. See if we can actually turn that into a habitable planet and save ourselves from ourselves and, whatever, you
True.
know. I mean, I
Um,
think that's the reason why
there is a
we do
level
the thing. Why do we go climb Mount Everest? Because we
there is a
can't. We
level
tried.
of there's a level of technology that Star Trek Discovery is not willing to bring the Federation into, though. And I don't think that's a criticism, and I don't think it's unfair to mention to just say that, like, you know, the ships in Star Trek Discovery season 4 are 32nd century ships. Why do they still have people on them? Like, why don't they have holograms? Like, why hasn't the technology progressed to where you don't need a helm and a con? Like, why hasn't it just all become like
Or why are
telepathic?
people people? Why are people people? Why don't we have like
That's also a good question. Like,
you know,
there if you're
why aren't
willing
we all Borg?
if you're if you're willing to make that leap, if you want to make that leap in logic, and again, this isn't a criticism or anything. This is
No.
more so just following a line of logic of like in 31
This is
in the
more
30
just a philosophical dialogue at this point.
yeah, in the 32nd century, like why do we look the same? There's no difference in our biology, there's no difference in how we look. We're
And
not taller, we're
especially, I
not
mean,
shorter.
really, you would think actually, maybe not so much tall and short, but we would more be like I would be surprised if at that point there are not that there are still just 100% humans and not like Cardassian human or like all these
Sure.
different mixtures and things like that. Like when we saw the president, I'm like, that makes sense,
Yeah.
a half Cardassian, half whatever.
And it's interesting that we
Um,
don't see more of that on Earth or something
and
like
that's
that.
probably the most unrealistic thing. Like it would make sense if like Discovery were the only people that were still just human,
Yeah.
you know. I mean, I get like the isolationist part of it, but
But
even
you know,
still,
it's
it's been
also
700 years. There's still like Earth is not just home to humans. They're home to several different species.
yeah, I mean, it's also just kind of, if you're willing, if you want to follow that logic, then you just kind of you're kind of stripping away what people can relate to. The more the like,
But that would make them relate to Discovery so much more.
yeah, that's true. I
And
mean,
we might
look,
actually get something more emotional.
look, Discovery is not the most imaginative of the Star Trek
No,
shows.
not at all.
All right, that was a fun philosophical discussion.
I like
Uh,
that. That was enjoy. I like those. Those are fun. These are fun.
yeah, I think that that's what Star Trek, good
I
or
think that's
bad, can give
yeah.
you.
I mean, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
I feel like Star Trek's the themes and a lot of the problems that are presented to these captains and the crew um, challenge the audience to put themselves in their shoes and have a legit dilemma in their mind and make them think about like what would I do,
yeah. It's
um,
weird. It's interesting how
weighing
like
different pros and cons to everything.
I don't know if I would. I don't know if I would like it, but I would prefer that if we saw more humans, that they were like, oh yeah, I'm like 1/4 Romulan on my dad's side or something like that. Like more of
We
that
did
sort of
have
thing.
yeah, no, I get it, but I mean more I was saying more like a physically um more evident. Like they don't have to
Yeah.
just straight up say it, but you look at somebody like, "Oh, okay, so here's a human with that has, a little green, a hue of green. Maybe got a little Romulan in him, maybe. I don't
Yeah.
know."
I wonder that makes me wonder, like, what would we actually look like in the 32nd century? Like it had like
The grays.
you think so?
I think so. Yeah. I think
Yeah.
we'll turn
You
into
think we're the
grays. Yeah.
Greys? We're
We'll either be the grays or we'll be like the people in Wally.
Did you ever see Pacific Rim?
Yes, I saw it. Yeah.
Yeah, did you know what Guillermo del Toro wanted to do for a sequel? He just came out with this idea.
What?
He was going to say that the Forerunners, who are the aliens that were sending the kaiju to
Mhm.
Earth,
Yeah.
are actually us in the future, and it was a portal through time, not another planet.
Oh, that's is it. What would the reasoning be?
Because they wanted to terraform the planet and come back.
Oh,
Weird, right?
I'd have to
I
see it.
I
I mean,
heard that.
I'd watch it. I mean, Pacific Rim for me was a fine movie from what I
I
remember.
I love Pacific Rim.
Was it really good? I can't remember.
I love it.
Yeah, I know you're a kaiju dude, man. Yeah,
But
that's
I
why I
was
defer to
really
your expertise.
I was really into I wasn't I really love Pacific Rim. I really love that first movie. I don't love the second one, but after hearing Del Toro's idea for the second one, I'm like, quite honestly, I think maybe we dodged a bullet. I
Hmm.
don't think that would have worked quite as well.
That'd be like a hardcore fan, like cult following after that point. I
I
think.
mean, it depends. It depends on how well it was handled. I like Del Toro a lot. Maybe it could have been good, but I think probably going a more traditional kaiju direction was probably the best idea for that
Hmm.
sequel. Regardless of quality of how it turned out.
Hmm.
Anyway,
Yeah.
that was a fun little tangent. I love this show. Tangents all around. Um, yeah. Anyway, I think that's everything I need to talk about.
I think so too. We didn't get to see any of.
How you still liking Book?
I'm sorry.
How are you still liking Booker?
I in this episode, I felt very. I feel like they needed. They're trying. They're now just. I feel like they're using his loss as a crutch now,
I felt the same way. I was like,
right?
"What happened?
Like
How did we lose this?"
there's no development with his character or story arc in this episode whatsoever.
Yeah, he
Um,
gets the
I
he
feel
like
like the
feels upset that Burnham didn't save the guy,
yeah,
and the guy
that's really the only thing. And then also, oh, one more thing.
that drives him to the Rising dude.
Yeah, he
Yeah,
has that interaction with the Rising dude. What is that thing on the back of his neck?
it's the I don't know what the Rising guys is, but I think it's meant to because because Booker has a similar one on the back of his neck, which is from when he was a slave with the Emerald Chain.
And didn't he say that they both know the Emerald Chain?
Yeah, so I
That's
think we're led
probably
to
what it is.
believe.
So maybe they have that kind of connection or something.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Either way, I do think that we're leading Book into a place that I was kind of worried about, so I'd have to see how it handles, which is that he's going to be an antagonistic force towards Burnham and the Discovery, trying to destroy the DMA in his own way with that Ryzen dude. Um,
Well,
I
I mean,
not sure how I feel about that.
now that it's out there that it's an actual entity that's controlling this thing, he has more anger, which is what him and the Ryza dude was talking about towards this entity. So all he wants to do is destroy it. And I mean, because he wants to destroy something that killed,
Yeah.
right? And oh man, I lost my train of thought. So he wants to destroy something that killed that killed his
Killed his
but
family.
but then that wouldn't make any sense because then he wanted to save the one dude that killed someone else on the prison colony.
Yeah, I think that's I don't know. It wasn't I've really liked
So
Booker's arc of the season. This was not a good episode for it.
I would really be interested to see what happens later if there's going to be any type of hypocritical type of push forward with Book, especially after this episode.
Yeah,
I
maybe.
bet there is going to be because it's going to disappoint.
It's good. You're just already ready for the disappointment.
Yeah. Well, what did Zendaya say about disappointing?
Oh yeah, if you expect disappointment, you'll never be disappointed.
There it is.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna expect disappointment. That way, I'm never disappointed. that should be the slogan of this
Discovery,
series, dude. Yeah.
Jeez. Well, look, Discovery has the potential to ramp up. We're a little less than halfway through the season. I don't know, man.
I feel like
I hope it's good.
Like
I hope it gets better.
That word potential we've been using. We could that you could insert that word potential to be great since season 1.
That's true.
We're still here midway through season 4. It has a potential, but I mean,
we finally got rid of Tilly, and I didn't miss her presence at all. She wasn't on the ship, and I was like, man, this ship feels so much better.
Yeah. We did. We didn't get Gray. We didn't.
Oh yeah, we didn't get Gray or Adira this week.
Adira. And like we already mentioned Detmer. But yeah, we didn't get a lot of and I'm okay with that. I don't mind them focusing on a part of this whole group.
Yeah, I mean, neither
You
do
know what I mean?
I just feel like maybe we didn't.
Maybe they left him on Starfleet Academy.
Maybe, but we still try. They still try to shoehorn this guy who. This isn't the windsurfing dude, right? The guy. No, that was the other guy.
Mm-hmm.
This guy who's like, yeah, the Starfleet Hurricane dude. Like, I don't need that guy. If you really want to develop that character, you need to tell me more than just give me. You need to give me more than just a snippet of a character development once every 5 episodes. You need to show me his role on the ship, why he's important to the crew, and to get him in with the crew. He's a commander, I guess.
They need to make these characters. They need to let the audience know what these characters offer and what will happen if they and the consequences if they are not there. That's the only way we ever care about a character, right? Is if we know these consequences.
I'm getting really sick of reaction shots of characters I don't even know the name of.
I know, right? If we had a dime.
Every single time something happens, either the blonde lady or the Asian dude or the guy with the big eyes, burp, burp,
yeah,
burp. I'm like, I don't know any of you guys.
The fish guy, yeah.
Who's that? Well, wait.
Michelle
Yeoh like that character.
So, what's his face? The other captain, Saru. He was basically useless this entire episode.
Yeah,
he's completely useless. He was just there.
Yeah,
he was just there to press the button that Zendaya was supposed to press.
He wasn't even
right.
He wasn't even. He wasn't even there to serve the role of like the good angel on Stamets' shoulder. He doesn't. He just kind of becomes a pain.
Yeah, and you know what's funny is like we talk about like away teams and like how there's no like main security officer. If there was, there's no way the security officer would have allowed the captain to go on this type of away mission.
Yeah,
right? Or actually, a first officer shouldn't have done that. Saru shouldn't have let her do that anyway. Saru should have went.
Yeah.
But I mean, I don't know. I guess 32nd century.
If I was writing the show, I'd make at least one conference room to get all the senior staff in there and like go around the horn. Give me your names. What's the role in the ship? Because I desperately need that at this point.
Yeah,
we're four seasons.
Hey, you never know, man. I mean, I think it's got potential to get it sometime.
I hate you. On that note, I think I want to be done with this episode. All right. I think that'll do it. It's right. Look, all in all, it's a fine episode. I'm still enjoying the Culber plot line. I liked that stuff a lot.
I'll give it a 3.5 out of 10.
Whoa, that's fucking low.
Oh no, dude, my other ones are lower. This is not bad.
Jesus. Yeah, I'd give it honestly like a 6. I don't think it's that bad.
Solid D.
You gave it a damn F. You're just like, screw this show.
Like GE.
Hey, real quickly though, our American education system is screwed up if over half of the numbers are F. Come on.
Right.
Come on. Anyway, that's it. Okay, I'm done. The show is next week. We're talking about this again. Probably. It's the holidays coming up. Christmas is this weekend. Merry Christmas.
I got Santa on a snowmobile. Why not? Right.
I got an Avengers shirt.
Cool.
Same thing, right?
Merry Christmas.
Cannot believe that Christmas is this weekend. Which means
what are you doing for Christmas? Anything fun?
No, I'm just at home with my girl.
You know what? That's nice and relaxing. As long as you're enjoying yourself, that's all that matters.
I really didn't want to I kind of wanted to skip Christmas this year, but
blasphemy.
I just not feeling it this year, man.
Oh man, I can't wait. I got I got the house all finally done. I got a bunch of family coming into town to not only see the new house, but celebrate Christmas. I'm really
get some pics on Instagram, man. I want to see your house.
Yeah, okay, yeah. I'll hey, how about this? How about just a little quick tour?
Oh, a quick tour, everyone.
Quick tour, boom. You like my little Spock cookie jar right there? Boom.
Oh yeah, it's cute.
I don't know if you could tell right here. Is a fully signed picture of the entire cast of TNG.
Wow.
Yeah.
I've only got LeVar, Brent Spiner, and Marina Sirtis.
Okay. Got my comic book drawers down there, a bunch of other fun
guys,
stuff over here.
audience, if you guys haven't seen his comic book drawers, they're gorgeous. You got to see them. He just pulls them out. They're beautiful.
BEA beautiful. What's that from? That was from
Bruce Almighty.
Yes, Bruce Almighty.
Yeah, Bruce Almighty. I know my Jim Carrey movies.
Yeah, for some reason I was thinking Truman Show. I don't know why.
No, not Truman. Truman Show was
good afternoon, good evening, and good night.
Yes, in case I don't see you, good afternoon, good evening, and good night. Yeah. Okay, so that'll do it. So next week is Christmas time, but there is a new episode of Star Trek Discovery. So I'm not going to put too much pressure on us getting an episode 6 review out. If you've got the time, let me know. If not, maybe we do a 6 and 7 the week after.
Sure. We'll figure something out.
Yeah, so we'll figure that out. So stay tuned for that. Until then, Mike, why don't you plug your stuff?
So the only thing I got going on is, I believe, man, I might probably not. So we didn't do a Downright Annoyed with movies yesterday. So we were trying to push it to next week. I don't know if I'll have time to do it next week, but if the guys do it, it'll be on the Night Comes for Us, I believe. Ryan chose it. It's a Korean martial arts action. I just watched it too. I don't really remember what it was. It was pretty badass. It was good. It was a good movie. Anyway, they'll be reviewing that, and that's really, I don't really got too much. Speaking of my comic book drawers, I'm starting to sell a little bit here and there, majority of my comics. So if anybody out there has anything on their wish list, I may or may not have it. Make me an offer.
Follow him on Downright Annoyed at Downright Nerdy.
Yeah. Downright Nerdy podcast on the IG.
Yeah. Okay, so that'll do it. So like I said up top, our show, the Fake Nerd Podcast, is on hiatus. That is a huge commitment show that we do. So we're just taking the time off, but you can check out some of our latest episodes, which we talked about the Raimi Spider-Man, the Web Spider-Mans, and Spider-Man No Way Home just yesterday, as far as recording this one. Had a grand old time recording all 3 of those episodes, especially No Way Home. Which I will
just leave it at that.
No, I'll spoil it here. We all gave it 10s. Every single one of us gave it a 10.
I'm 100% agree.
So check out those, and that'll be back on January 9th. We'll be back with another episode of our top 10 of 2021, because we'll be in the year 2022. Can't believe it. Feels like the future. Feels like the future.
We are getting old. That'll be for episode 267, correct?
267. Yep.
When did you guys start?
That's 5 years ago.
5 years.
5.5 years ago.
Wow.
That's
awesome.
266 episodes ago. Give or take a couple weeks. Yeah, we've been doing this a long time. 2016 is when we started, about June or July 2016.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Cool, man. That's awesome.
Right now,
keep it going.
What?
I say keep it going. Here's to another 266.
Yeah, our Spider-Man Homecoming review is up on YouTube right now if you guys want to check that out. That's from episode 53, where everything sounded so different. It's crazy.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't even remember.
53.
I was listening to you guys before you guys hit 100.
Wow.
Yeah. But I don't think we ever connected until maybe around 120, 130-ish.
I don't remember either.
Yeah, it was a while back. But I don't recall it, like when you say it sounds different, is it just audio sounds different, or
we had 4 people coming out of this mic.
Gotcha.
So
now you have your own mics. Gotcha.
Yeah, now we all have our own mics. Anyway, so that's a fun trip down memory lane. That's Fake Nerd Podcast, but there's plenty of other things that are going to be coming out. There's plenty of other shows that we have on the channel that you can check out, such as Fake Nerds Watch, which is this show. This show is called Fake Nerds Watch, where I'm doing this with Michael Karls, the Downright Nerdy Podcast, but there's also Hawkeye. We're going to do the last 3 episodes of Hawkeye as one episode, and then stay tuned for Boba Fett. We're probably going to do one for Book of Boba Fett, so stay tuned for that. And
Is that something that's just you guys doing it?
Yeah, it'll just be us.
Fake Nerd guys? Gotcha.
Yeah. Why, do you want to do it?
No, it's fine. It's okay.
No, if you want to do it, we'll let you do it. It's just another person we got to coordinate with.
Well, it's okay.
And then there's Basement Arcade, which other episodes are coming out soon. Basement Arcade Pause Menu, a new episode will be coming out, and then that show's going to go on hiatus for a couple weeks as well. And then Animation Station and Fake Nerd Book Club are all those shows, guys. All those shows are here. Tons of content that we've done this year. Tons of stuff that I'm really proud of. You can check all of that out. And finally, our much coveted holiday annual is coming out on Christmas Eve. It has been spoilers. It has been recorded already. We had a good time once again. No, it's kind of a low key Christmas annual this year. We had a hard time getting this one set up, but we really wanted to do it.
Well, it's so difficult to match years past, especially a couple of years ago. I mean, that was probably the best one that you guys had ever had.
Oh yeah,
I don't recall exactly why, but I just remember that you guys had some awesome guests on.
Oh, did we? I wonder why. Anyway, so we didn't really have a topic, so it's just a lot of us like reminiscing of the year and exchanging gifts. It's a good time. I hope you guys enjoy it. That's our Christmas gift to you guys, the people watching, the people listening. Just because we love you guys and we wouldn't do this without you, and so that's kind of our gift to you. So that's that. That's everything. You can find all of that on Fake Nerd Podcast on all the social medias, fakenerdpodcast.com for everything like that. Yeah, we got a Patreon, we got a TeePublic. You guys want to support us financially? We'd love that. We'd love to. Things are hard right now, so if you guys want to support us like that, check out our TeePublic or our Patreon. Hey, it's not too late to get a TeePublic shirt for Christmas. It might be too late, but maybe it's not. You never know. Mike, where can they find you?
They can find me on Instagram at Downright Nerdy Podcast, or on YouTube, Downright Nerdy Podcast.
Very cool.
You can find me.
You can find me at BT McClure on Instagram and Twitter. I also write for Screen Rant now. You can just search my name on Screen Rant, Brandon T. McClure. You can find all my articles. I got a Star Trek one up there. Make that topical. It's about Star Trek Prodigy. It's kind of a lame one, if I must add. But that's everything, guys. So until next time, live long and prosper.